All right,
Stop it.
let's get into the next topic, boys. Man, we got to talk about Ghost of Yotei, and I think it's probably good Krigler left for this one because it's probably going to get a little bit spicy. Um, on this
Oh
extreme
yeah, like
echo
he just
chamber,
brings her to controversy.
this extreme echo chamber of a stream we got going on here. So Ghost of Yotei has officially dropped what we've been asking for since we first started talking about it months ago, when they dropped the trailers. And I remember all of us were saying that we need to see more because the trailer just wasn't enough, right? The concept wasn't enough, and we needed to see gameplay. Well, we got that, right? We got that, and I'm assuming everybody saw the Ghost of Yotei state of play.
Yep.
Is that fair? Is that fair to say?
Not the state of play, but I saw some clips of what they showed.
Like the gameplay and shit.
Yeah, that's why I wasn't gonna watch.
Trey's, did you see it?
I did not watch the whole 19 minutes of it, but I saw enough of it.
Okay, so we're gonna do this. We're gonna do one by one because I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of difference of opinions. So we're gonna start with Leon, who always notoriously has the bad takes, and then we'll kind of go from there. So Leon, what did you? And this is gonna play in the background while you guys are talking. So Leon, go ahead. What did you think about Ghost of Yotei, the gameplay, or just in general, whatever? Go ahead.
I'm gonna be like this whole from everything I've seen about this game because I've been watching the clips on X. Cause I wasn't gonna play this game anyway. I didn't want this game. I didn't ask for this game, and so watching an entire state of play was not my bag. But I will say I'm a defender of the Watanabe lo-fi option. So I know I guess maybe that's a hot take because Kate out here with this fucking black card saying he doesn't like that. But no, I play most of my video games with lo-fi on in the background anyway. So if I'm gonna play fucking this, it's nice that it's a built-in option. And Shinichiro Watanabe is my favorite anime director of all time. So the fact that it's him doing it, I listen to the tracks, they're good. I'm down. But that being said, I was listening to the music on YouTube. I'm gonna play this fucking homo ass game.
Smash.
You were absolutely right about Leon with the terrible take. The game looks decent enough, but when you actually get to the gameplay and the slop of Erika Ishii like stabbing them and lifting them up with the fucking samurai sword and slamming them, I'm like, this is not realistic whatsoever. And I get it, video game logic, you're allowed to have some of that, but when it goes into the extreme of clear DEI being pushed, clear agenda, clear girl boss, and you see that kind of stuff, it's not even believable. And they just want to push the agenda for everyone. And what pisses me off so much about this is Ghost of Tsushima is easily in my top 10 games of all time. Love that game.
You talk about that game a lot.
I do, and I love it. It's great.
It's one of the 10 games he's ever played, so
that's probably why he talks about it a lot.
God damn. It's a great game. And everyone needs to play it. Everyone needs to play it. Ghost of Tsushima. But the problem that I have with it is the sucker punch of yesteryear is not the sucker punch of today. And now we are left with what feels like, and I said this when you were streaming the other day, it feels like this is just a reskin of what's already available, an asset flip of DEI, and they're trying to make extra money off of what already was built previously successfully, and they're doing it in a DEI way, and it really frustrates me because I loved the idea of this becoming a series, and they took it a terrible direction, almost like you could say what they did with Last of Us Part 2. But anyways, that's my thoughts on it.
Okay, Kater.
Damn, take a shot every time Smash said DEI. You'd be messed up right now. But I kind of feel the same. Like, as knowing some stuff about the actual game and seeing the gameplay that they dropped, it's like, yeah, they were 100% correct. This is a legitimate like sequel asset flip that they put Erika Ishii's character into. And I always said we already knew gameplay and graphics wise it was going to be good because the first game was. This looks like the first game, almost 1-to-1, except we got the female protagonist here. And aside from that, I mean, it looks like Ghost of Tsushima, but we got a girl in it. I don't know how else to describe it. It looks exactly the same. So it doesn't really instill a lot of confidence.
And no ghost powers either.
With the game. Yeah, we don't got that either. But it doesn't instill a lot of confidence into me. I mean, it just looks like Ghost of Tsushima. And also, yeah, knowing some things that I do know about this game, if they do go to the route that I was told like those months ago with the story, then it's really going to piss people off. And I'm upset that we don't have Jin anymore. We need to continue his story. like they were originally going to do, like with a trilogy of games, because people love Jin. Don't let people try to gaslight on the internet like they didn't like Jin just because we got this woman here. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But I just, yeah, it's just, yeah, that's Ghost of Tsushima, I guess, but not Ghost of Tsushima. That's it. That's all I got for it.
my
In
favorite.
the hold on,
No, go ahead, go
the
ahead.
game mode, the lo-fi hip hop or whatever,
Uh-huh.
I don't think it applies here because Cowboy Bebop is not the same genre wise as this game is, so it doesn't really fit the same. Like
You
the
mean Samurai
Kurosawa mod,
Champloo, or are you a fake fan?
I haven't watched that. No, I haven't watched that.
Okay,
I watched Cowboy Bebop,
okay,
though.
but it's not based on Cowboy Bebop. It's inspired by Samurai Champloo, so which is similar in regards to this, which is why it works.
Oh well, I still think that putting the lo-fi in the actual game is just kind of weird to me. I don't really like it. The Kurosawa mode though, that makes more sense. Given like you see how that looks, how they do the black and white and they do the slow-mo and stuff like that. That makes more sense to me. But the lo-fi, it just didn't make any sense to me.
I do think it's interesting how there's people out there, and then Cassie, you could go after this. There's people out there that are like, yeah, well, you're saying that Ghost of Yotei looks just like Ghost of Tsushima. Well, duh, it's a sequel. Wouldn't that make sense that it will look just like the first one? And I'm like, aren't you the same motherfuckers that were gaslighting us and telling us that we are insane for wanting Dragon Age, the Veilguard, to be similar to the other previous Dragon Ages? And you're like, oh, well, it doesn't have to be the same just because it's a sequel. These are the same people who were saying that. Now they're like, oh, no, it totally makes sense that this looks the exact same, but now you're just playing as a girl. And everybody can clearly tell that this game was designed for Jin and was just swapped at some point during development, whether it was later on in the line or something like that. Like, the fucking game is literally playing the exact same. They changed the stances to now be weapons, but they perform the same exact way. It's all about countering weaknesses. The stances were countering weaknesses before. Now the weapons are about countering certain weapons, but it's the same shit. It's the same thing with a different name. This game is literally just a flipped Ghost of Tsushima 1, but with Erika Ishii's character now. That is literally it. So when people say the gameplay looks good, I have to ask, I'm okay with that, but I have to ask, does it look good because of this game, or does it look good because you remember the first game?
Yep.
And this is like so identical to the first game that you're automatically thinking that, okay, this looks good.
And isn't it convenient that Erika Ishii is like a hardcore activist in a game that seems to be pushing an agenda with it? It's just curious.
Yeah, wait till they find out who the game director is. Y'all are gonna lose your shit. But also, that's the craziest cope I've ever heard. Like, oh, it should play it looks exactly like the first game. Of course it does. It's a sequel. Halo 2 doesn't look exactly like Halo 1. You play Assassin's Creed 1, Assassin's Creed 2 is the exact same as Assassin's Creed 1. That's not how that works. And especially if you have a game that's not a direct sequel, because this is Ghost of Yotei, not Tsushima anymore. People are expecting the game to be, they're expecting the game to be different if you have a different title with it. So it's not out of the realm of possibility for people to go, oh, this looks exactly like Ghost of Tsushima. Why does it look like that? You're advertising this as if it's something different, so it should look different.
And my thing is, like, you got a different character, different time period. We're not talking about 2 years later, 3 years later. We're talking about hundreds of years later, right? So there is a lot of time gap between that. Different island, different culture, different everything, and yet it just literally looks like the first game in every manner. And the sad thing is that she plays and I've said this before on my stream, she plays as if this is Jin, but it's not. You just put a woman in it. She plays just like him, has the same strength, if not more. This bitch is Yasuke. Look at this, just whips this motherfucker.
There's no way. There's no way she would be able to do that. That's insane.
A fully armored fucking
That's what you think.
Just whips this guy like 20 feet. And my thing is like, all right, with Jin, a lot of this shit that he went through, some of it was fantastical, but the reason why is because this motherfucker was literally a ghost. Like that's the whole like story and idea behind it. Like, he is the ghost of Tsushima. He had certain abilities that were supernatural in nature and made him be able to do certain things that other people necessarily wouldn't be able to do. And he was able to either enact his revenge or, depending on how you play the game. But the point is, he was able to do certain things, but they didn't give this
the exact same move.
They gave her nothing. They took away the supernatural aspect of the first game. based it in reality, gave her no powers, but they're like, oh, well, she has blinding powder, so that's gonna work. And I love this part. She gets chokeslammed, and then she just gets right back the fuck up. Like, yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good.
It's the
And
same problem.
I'm gonna cut you right the fuck up in like 2 seconds. Somebody twice my size with a sword twice my height. Anyway, Cassie, go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt. I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. For me, I actually, I really loved Ghost of Tsushima. I platinum it over on PS4 back in the day, and it's one of my favorite games last generation. And honestly, this game, like, you would think that going from the PS4 to the PS5, that there would be a substantial difference, and I'm not really seeing it. It's hard to even justify that this is a legitimate sequel. If anything, it feels like maybe a standalone DLC that's based on pretty much all of the same assets of the original game. Yet we're seeing a lot of the same animations here, like you were saying. Instead of, they basically traded the stances for different weaponry. Everything here just feels kind of like, hey, it's really pretty like the first game, but a lot of the choice making and the extension of what they're doing just feels very lazy. It just feels very carried over. It would have been nice if maybe we could have chose weapons, and each weapon we had different stances. That would be insane. That would make the gameplay like the combat just ×4, literally. That would have been cool, but we don't get any of that. So I'm just confused on how this really is a worthy next generation sequel to the first game. When it comes to the character, I mean, yeah, there was one time where she got fucking ass blasted by this big dude. It was hilarious. But yeah, when she's doing some of this stuff, it's just hard to find believable because the game has this realistic feel to it, even the first game, while also being artistically driven too. But we were discussing how Sucker Punch did such a great job of holding true to the historical aspect of of that time period, with a couple of things that they purposely chose to make different, obviously, because it's not perfectly historical. But
Yeah.
I think that this character, I don't know the extent to how many women were actually samurai, but it just doesn't make sense to me. Now, if the art style was like more of like cell shaded, like, I really like the show, I don't know if you guys caught it, called Blue Eyed Samurai.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I thought that show was really good. And I think that a good thing that kind of gets it over is the artsy, cell shaded look to it, where it's like I can kind of suspend disbelief for that. The lo-fi situation, I mean, I could see myself playing like if I was playing it and I'm doing just side stuff that wasn't so crazy. Like, the lo-fi thing would be a good change of pace that I think meshes pretty well, considering. But if I was like trying to live in the moment, if I could, as this character, I would definitely opt for the music. And to be honest with you, the music that I was hearing, I wasn't really impressed by it. It wasn't really grabbing me. But that's just a couple of art, music pieces that they had shown off. But I don't know, I'm just kind of bored. This is just a standalone DLC as far as I'm concerned, and this is not a day one purchase at all. This is not going to make me undust my PS5 to play, and that's saying a lot because Ghost of Tsushima was one of my favorite last gen video games.
Yeah. I just wish that there would be some explanation as to how she's capable of doing these things, because again, man, like, I understand, like, Jin Sakai, he didn't have powers necessarily, but he exhibited especially if he embraced like the ways of the ghost, he exhibited like supernatural abilities or like superhuman abilities, and that was their way of explaining how he's able to do certain things. And this bitch is like, they're just throwing her in there, with pretty much there's nothing there to showcase how she's able to do any of this stuff, other than she's a woman and she's great at what she does.
I will say
that's basically it.
He's a ghost.
One positive
How is she a
about
ghost?
The power of ovaries.
it would have made more sense if she was a ninja. Like, they went about it, and she's not a samurai, she's a ninja, because at that point you're just breaking all the rules, right? But I will say this: I have to give them credit for actually making like armor sets and wardrobe that's fit for a woman instead of putting a woman in men's attire. So shout out to them for
was
that.
a little
I
bit
mean,
surprising. You're right. Yeah.
yeah.
I just think.
Wait, will that wizard go? Did wizard go? Go wizard.
No, go ahead, Trace. Yeah.
No, I mean,
Cut me off.
I'm pretty sure I'm black. I'm faster, man. I'm pretty sure I spoke.
You got me. So
yeah.
Wait, did he not notice that we're going in order across the bottom of the screen?
No, because he's too busy playing games.
Oh man. Blue.
I'm really glad Cassie said that with it's not a day one purchase, because I am fascinated to see what's going to happen when this comes out. If everybody else that has played Ghost of Tsushima is going to feel the same way. And I think that's going to be a massive, like, we know that this game is probably going to sell well, but is it going to outperform Ghost of Tsushima so soon and so quickly? I don't know.
No.
And
it's going to sell
it'll
half.
sell well.
It's going to sell half of Ghost of Tsushima. I'm calling that right now.
It's definitely going to sell, but we don't know if it's going to sell well. And I think what's
going to sell like Miles Morales.
This is going to have the Last of Us 2 effect, I think. Do not underestimate the ability for PlayStation console gremlins to, swallow Sony seed. They're great at it. But yeah, I think they're not going to be quite as interested in this one as the first one.
Well, it's also got a more limited audience because I could be wrong, but hasn't the PS5 not come close to sales metrics of the PS4? So it's inherently going to sell less because it has less of a reach.
Well, but
this isn't being released day one on PC, so it's got to be carried just by PS5 console owners.
If there is story changes in this game that people do not like, and that hits the internet, I think that's going to impact sales in the long run too. So will you have the Sony day one buyers? 100%. But if there are things in this game or there are elements to the story that people don't like, that's going to hurt it. I would say just watching this, and I haven't completed Ghost of Tsushima myself. I have played it, but I haven't finished it. But watching this gameplay, I feel the same way about this that I did about like what you guys are talking about with the actual combat of things. I feel the same way I did about Assassin's Creed Shadows. You're telling me that it's supposed to be historical, but I can't. You've not put me in a position where I could suspend disbelief. Like, I don't buy it. The same way I didn't buy Assassin's Creed Shadows, I don't buy this. And so I don't know. Maybe they explain that away. You're right.
But think about how, like, the sales level of Tsushima just in general. I mean, this game sold unbelievably well, even in Japan, right? Like, it was the number one game for its debut week. Not only that, it even beat out Death Stranding. It beat out a Hideo Kojima game in Japan from a, it's new IP and everything. I think it sold over 200,000 copies in its first week in Japan, which is astronomically high. That's why when people were talking about Assassin's Creed Shadows and they were bringing up the Japan numbers, I think in Japan it only sold like 7,000 copies or something like that in its first fucking week. Like, and they were like, yeah, it's the best seller ever. I'm like, bro, come on, what are you talking about? It couldn't even beat. It couldn't even come anywhere close to fucking Ghost of Tsushima, and Tsushima didn't even have a legacy name behind it. Assassin's Creed has that name behind it, and still nowhere, not even close, because people sniff the bullshit. But I'm curious how this is going to do compared to the first one for sure.
Yeah.
And I think it is going to be one of those situations. Yeah, I think it's going to be one of those situations where it will probably sell half, which in theory should be enough for them, depending on their budget. But it's they're going to tout it as a success story because it's sold in the millions anyway, right? So it doesn't matter. They try to paint 1 million sales and 12 million sales as the same. As long as it's over 1 million, then they could say XYZ whatever, because they can't do the players engage bullshit with this game. It's not an Xbox Game Pass game, so they need copies sold. So they're gonna run the narrative: 1 million copies sold, 2 million copies sold, and then when it starts to taper off little by little, suddenly they go quiet. So, Atreus, what you got to say? Anything?
Yeah. I mean, as far as what I thought about it, I just felt like it looked like Ghost of Tsushima. But the big part about that is if it's going to look exactly the same as the previous game, which is fine, I guess it's supposed to be a sequel, then you got to keep the same goddamn character. and you got to continue their story. And as far as how much it'll sell, I mean, I get it. The PlayStation 5's player base is smaller, but also the shit's going to be $80. So
has that been confirmed? I thought it was going to be 70.
I mean, have they already confirmed it's going to be $70?
That's what I was hearing, but I haven't seen anything official.
I'm just going based off
the price.
Huh?
I haven't seen the price yet.
Well, I'm not saying like I don't know definitively. I'm just going based off of what the market's current, trend is. I would venture to say if Nintendo believes their exclusives are worth $80, then I would have to believe that PlayStation definitely think theirs are worth $80.
Honestly, I think Trey's 100% spot on with that. Like this is a Sony exclusive. The industry's changed. They need this to be successful because it's not multi-plat. Like, no, I think you're entirely right, dude.
Yeah, so like I venture to say it's going to be $80. I'm not going to say I don't see it selling well, but I have a hard time believing that it's going to do as well as the first one did with all of the controversies surrounding it. It looks the exact same as that. I just see people waiting. Not saying that people aren't going to play it, because I do believe people are going to play it. And as far as what it looks like, it looks good. It looks just like the first game. So I can't even grift and say it looks bad. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think anybody is saying it looks bad. Not from a literal sense though, because it's literally the same fucking game.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
It looks like visually the game looks
very
beautiful.
impressive
Like
visually, yeah.
Yeah, like I think that it's it's a good artistic vision, but it also just feels like it's just I don't know, just like the same thing, just with a different character.
I saw something on Twitter where somebody said I forgot who said it. I should have pulled up the tweet, but somebody said is changing, or no, they said, or I'm paraphrasing. They were like, I have never not bought a game because of my character's face or something like that. Basically insinuating that people who are saying they're not going to buy Yotei because it's a female and not Jin are just like losers, basically. And there was a bunch of people that were quote tweeting and were like, "Yep, I've done less." I think even Amarada.
Amarada did. I liked that tweet. That's how I saw that tweet. It was like she was like, "I've not paid for less."
Yeah. So I'm just curious as to, because I know it's going to do well. My thing is, I'm curious as to how many people are truly going to check out, at least initially anyway, because of that, right? Because I got to imagine a game that is this popular, that is sold this many copies, that is universally praised by everybody, the shills and the non-shills alike. How many sales are they really going to lose here? Like how many players are they really going to lose here, if any, right? Maybe this could do better than the first one, for all we know.
Well,
but
the big thing about it, and maybe I'm the only one that feels this way, but I look at this, and again, everybody's correct. It does not look like bad on a technical level or anything like that, but it also doesn't grab me. I'm apathetic to it. And remember the Summer Game Fest stream we did just last month? We were gushing over certain games, but this is like, okay, it exists. There's just no hype for me.
Well, I agree with that, in that if you're going to change something so big, like the character that everybody knows and loves, like I was saying in my video earlier, Jin Sakai literally became a PlayStation mascot. Yeah. So when you got a brand seller like that, when you talk about the PlayStation brand, he's literally a brand seller. You decide to change that. Well, then you got to sell me on something else. What's the big draw for this particular game? I didn't see none of that. I saw basically the same thing. You changed a few mechanics around and said it was like you did the Madden thing where you repackaged it and tried to switch some shit around and said, here, this is something brand new. Like, goddamn, like hell it is. And I'm not paying $80 for it.
I think this is 70 if I'm not mistaken. But at the same time, too, bro, nothing has changed with me. When Onimusha came out, I was big on Onimusha. When Onimusha 2 came out and Jubei was the character, I never played Onimusha 2. I never played it. I skipped it. I am the same motherfucker I am today as I was when I was like 11. They showed a different main protagonist in that bitch. I wasn't fucking with it. Onimusha 3 came out. I bought the bitch and I played it. I just skipped over 2, which is a shame because 2 was a good game. From what everyone said, some people say it's the best one, but I couldn't overlook that.
More people pissed about Metal Gear Solid 2 having the bait and switch with Raiden, and I mean, obviously that game later on got to have the following. People loved it in hindsight, whatnot. But on release, weren't a lot of people pissed about the Switch?
Big time. It was huge. Like a lot of people were complaining about it.
Who the fuck is this blonde dude?
Yeah, it was huge. And the reason why it actually took a little bit for it to truly like go crazy. The reason why is because the switch doesn't happen right away, right? You play the first game as Solid Snake, and then eventually you get switched over to Raiden after you finish the tank segment, the fucking boat segment, or whatever. And then at that point, people thought, okay, well, maybe it'll switch back, right? Because that's what I was thinking when I was playing that game. I was like, maybe it'll switch back to Solid Snake at some point. We're just playing Raiden for like, a couple of hours, right? Right? And then the game's done, and I'm like, what the fuck? Played the whole game as Raiden. I even saw him naked. What the fuck is this, bro? This is crazy. So, now, and again, don't get me wrong, man. The game, like, story-wise was awesome. Overall, like, fantastic.
Did we just lose him now? Oh. The fuck?
Motherfucker checking his teeth on camera? Seriously? It's crazy. It was a great story, and over time, people slowly but surely accepted it only because of the impact it had on the story overall as it, over the 4 main games that everybody talks about. But let's not pretend like people weren't pissed. And some people are still pissed to this day.
They were. Well,
yeah,
I see a lot of folk in the chat talking about, my bad.
I'm sorry. I was going to say it probably would have been exponentially worse in today's world due to social media and the speed of information that is able to just get out there. It would be exponentially worse. But back then, when it was all like forums and fucking magazines and stuff, I remember reading a certain snippet. I don't know if it was Game Informer or something, but I remember reading a snippet about how pissed people were at the Switch. And even back then, how journalists were trying to defend it and basically say, well, you should try it, and it's not that bad. And Raiden actually plays just like Solid Snake. Don't worry, kind of a thing. And I'm like, dude,
but that's not the point.
Yeah, that's not the point. Nobody fucking cares.
I hated Metal Gear Solid 2 because I expected to play as Snake, and they switched
everybody
up on
did.
me. Yeah,
Everybody did.
It's like Halo 5. They did the same thing in Halo 5.
Or ODST.
The thing is here, like, so they knew that everybody wanted to play as Snake because look at how they set up Raiden's introduction, right? So first off, you play as Solid Snake. That right there is fucking bait and switch.
Oh, what a rug pull.
What a rug pull. And then you finish that scene, and then it gets to the scene where they're approaching the oil, whatever they're called, oil tankers or whatever. And Raiden is called Snake, right? So, and you're speaking to the colonel. It's the same shit. Like, you're thinking you're about to play as Snake infiltrating this oil rig, and then he takes off the helmet. Obviously, they purposely zoom in, and Hideo's like, "Ha, gotcha, bitch." And at that point, again, you're waiting for Snake to show back up, and then when he does show back up, they troll you, and his name is Pliskin, and it's like, bro, what the fuck is going on, man? Like, am I gonna play as this guy or what? Nope, still playing as the blonde guy all the way through until the very end. But in any case,
I see a lot of folk in the chat saying, because they're tired of girl bosses, like, which is something I completely understand. But by the same token, I mean, I don't know that Sucker Punch immediately, I could be completely wrong with this, but I don't know that Sucker Punch went in with the idea of like, let's make this DEI, let's make this girl boss. I think it was just, I don't think they understand the shifting of the paradigm shift we're experiencing. And then what really set it off wasn't Sucker Punch themselves. It's this girl being an insufferable twat. So if it was an actress that kept her head down, which is like, I'm just excited to be in a video game. I don't know if there would be as much backlash or there would be considered girl boss stuff. I don't know if you guys think about that.
So I would say I think they did, especially since a lot of the people who made the first one aren't necessarily working on the second one. So it's really hard to make that assessment. Also, I have to, I hope.
I can tell for a fact that they hired Erika Ishii for a reason.
I'll say this. I hope that they explore her being an Onryu, or however you say that. I hope they explore that and introduce that in a supernatural way, kind of similar to Jin's ghost abilities, where, obviously it wasn't really powers per se, but it almost made him seem supernatural in a way. I hope that because that's basically, it just basically means female ghost, if I'm not mistaken, right? Onryu means female ghost. So if they explore that and they make it where it kind of just explains her abilities a little bit more, then I'd be a little bit more open to it. But I can't look at this game and not see this combat that I'm looking at right now and think to myself, yeah, they definitely had Jin here at some point, and then they were like, let's just switch it. Let's
It's the
just
exact
let's just
same
switch
move.
back to
Did you see the counter?
all of it. The entire combat's the same. She literally fights like Jin through and through. There's no difference. She even she decapitates motherfuckers like nothing. I don't know. I don't know. It's hard for me to explain. I just want them to explore the Unruh part a little bit more, and we'll see if they do that. If they just let it be
kind of like how
a,
in Demon Slayer, there's no actual fire or water when they're doing their moves. That's just like a visual representation of like their styles, and that's not canon. It's not actually what the characters are saying.
right. I want, yeah, exactly. Like I want something that explains. I want something that explains what we're seeing a little bit better, because you cannot just take what was obviously meant for Jin and make this woman fight men that are 3 times her size in full-on armor. She's getting choke slammed by these motherfuckers like it's nothing, and then she just gets right back up and decapitates all of them with ease, and then she's fighting multiple at a time. I don't know. It just, you know what it screams? Like Hollywood to me. It screams Hollywood. Like I feel like I'm watching a Hollywood movie, and not in a good way.
I just hope they don't do the story beats that I was told, because that will make it suck. Because like I do want it to be a good game. Granted, I do want to play as Jin. I don't want to play as this chick. But if it's anywhere near as good as Ghost of Tsushima, I can see people liking it, as long as they don't do what I was told they're going to do with the story, which is make her like, insufferable and gay, and everybody else is going to be gay, and all the men are gone. There's nothing but girls around, and they're all doing, girl boss shit. Like, I just hope that's not how they go with this game.
I feel like she's going to be quite insufferable, because anytime they go with this story of like angry woman seeking vengeance kind of a thing, it always ends up being just a super insufferable fucking character. Yeah. So I don't know. At least like with Jin, you had that duality of honor versus getting the job done kind of a thing, and your choices did matter. But anyway, go ahead, Trace.
No, I was just gonna say, because a lot of people are gonna come at that from this angle of, well, why can a male character go for vengeance and be insufferable, but a woman can't? It's because it's
not insufferable.
One, women belong. Close your ears, Cassie. Women don't belong anywhere near a writer's room, and so because of that, they don't understand the balance of how that character, that male character that's insufferable, faces his consequences. Normally, when you get characters like that, whether they chasing vengeance or greed or whatever the case may be, throughout the story, you see them face the consequences and you see their character grow.
Hold on. There are some women that can write very well. I think it's been co-opted by the ideology women that are fucking it up for the talented women.
If you want to talk about the 0.3%, we can talk about the 0.3%. I just don't think they're worth talking about, because obviously they do a great job. We got J.K. Rowling, you know what I'm saying? There's your representation.
Yeah, Amy Hennig. But no, I get what Amy Hennig. Right. In general terms, Trey's is correct.
Yeah, who's the manga writer for Inuyasha? What's her name? Rumiko Takahashi. Yeah, like she can make characters that are strong but also fragile. Like they have strengths and they have weaknesses. Like we need writers that will make a great character, but they'll have this flaw about them that makes them unique or makes them interesting.
Let's not even talk about one of the most iconic anime manga.
Yeah, but those y'all are bringing up, there's Japanese writers, and this isn't we don't have Japanese writers. This is a Western production.
Right. They're the
point. All right, you got to be specific. Then you can't just say women. You got to say American.
I feel like it's implied when talking about women in the world. We're talking about the Western industry.
Yeah. I feel like it's implied for us because we understand it, but the greater audience that watches, some people interpret the word women as what it is.
Fair enough.
All right, well, let it Trace cook. Let it Trace cook, because I'm curious now.
Well, no. I mean, I was just now. Fuck. Where was I going?
You were destroying all women. Women don't belong in the writers' room.
I was just going at it from saying that, because you were saying that you were comparing them to male characters that seek vengeance and they're insufferable. I just know that people are going to come back with that is, why can male characters be insufferable but women can't? It's because male characters are written to face consequences and grow as a character, whereas female characters are not written that way. They're written in a way that makes it seem like they were never wrong to begin with, which is what we got with Ironheart.
Mm.
She never faced any consequences for any of the actions she did, including witnessing a murder, committing another one, and never even going to the police to tell them what she saw. So yeah,
Or trying to
Whatever
stop
happened
it
to her
herself.
The movie from like 2008 or whatever, Drive Me to Hell, where like at the end the bitch gets her comeuppance. She actually, that's what makes that movie so good. Is at the end she actually is dragged to fucking hell. She
yeah,
loses.
I think that the main. Oh, I'm sorry, Hypno. Go ahead.
No. Do you think? Go.
I was gonna say that just with this character, I think that the main issue is that her story is very simplistic in nature. It's too much like a garbage ass game being Assassin's Creed Shadows, like revenge. Like, oh, okay, but like there's no depth to that. Like Jin Sakai's story is far more depthful because he had to choose whether to do the right thing as it was as it was stated in their time amongst their people, or do we go to the shadows to do what we got to do? Like it's a conscious decision, and the end of it was so personal with the choices that Jin has to make in regards to his own family. There's so much depth to that story. And it's like, who knows? Maybe there's more here than meets the eye. Maybe we'll see something behind this character from the flashbacks and all that. But from what they're displaying here, her character just doesn't have any depth from what they're showing us thus far. And to be fair, I understand not wanting to spoil story. Like, you know, for me, it's like at this point, you either know if you want to play this game or you don't, don't want to play this game. Like with what they've shown. For me, I don't. But when you get to the point where it's like either you do or you don't, like I don't want any more story spoiled for me. Like for example, I was giving the Mafia devs so much heat because it's like, dude, you keep showing all this story shit. Like, can I fucking have some like to discover? Like, just show me gameplay. What y'all did with the gameplay that makes it better? No, they just want to show more and more stories. Like, y'all just giving away the whole motherfucking thing. How can I enjoy it? You know, it's one of those things. So I can understand not wanting to spoil the story, but there's some supposed shit out there that sound a little sus about this game.
Yeah, man, this game, you're right. It's one of those things where you either know or you don't. And I think most people who are fans of the original are, believe it or not, are probably gonna say they will. Just maybe not on day one, but they probably will at some point. I really hope they do flesh out the story a lot more. And in terms of male characters going on vengeance and whatnot, the thing with male characters is usually they learn about sacrifice. They usually have to give up something or they lose something. That's how they're written well. They end up losing something on their, you know, it may maybe not even be something necessarily of their own, or they'll see loss, or they'll experience loss, or they'll experience something that will bring them back down to reality and not just fucking go insane all the way to their quest. Even in the movie Taken, right, on his fucking quest for vengeance and trying to get his daughter back and shit, he experiences loss as well. Even though he's fucking just destroying everybody, he witnesses, you know, the daughter's friend die, which hurt him really bad because he didn't get there in time. He still experienced some level of loss. And whenever you see male characters like that, they experience that. With the women characters, they just are written, they're so busy trying to write them to be so strong and powerful that they forget to humanize them and bring them down a notch at the right moments. And it's those moments that will make the player connect with them to some extent, some way, somehow. It's those moments. It's not good.
I hate giving Marvel any monicum of credit, but like Thanos, he's the bad guy. But at the end of Infinity War, like what's that scene? He's talking to the young version of his daughter. So what did it cost you? He's like everything. Like everything. We know he's the bad guy, but there's still that moment of like, damn, at least he recognizes that, you know, the loss and whatnot. And
even Breaking Bad, same thing.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Walter White, you know, he convinced himself in the beginning, and maybe he was in the beginning trying to do everything for his family, but eventually that shit became about doing it for himself because he liked it.
That's why a lot of the good female characters that people like, that's why they like them, because they have consequences for their actions and they learn as people and progress in their stories, and they don't stay stagnant. Like a lot of these modern women characters that are in like movies, TVs, and even games, it's like as soon as they start, they're the same at the ending. Like if they start heroic, they end heroic. and they didn't learn anything. If they start as an evil person, they end as an evil person. They didn't learn anything. Like, that's all that they continue to do. So if they do that with this character, where she starts out with revenge and just wanting revenge and doesn't learn anything, it just gets revenge, it's gonna be fucking boring.
Yeah, I just want them to humanize the characters a little bit. You show them, they're so scared to show these female characters making mistakes. They're fucking fearful of that. Like, they just don't want to do it, right? But that's why, like, so many of these male characters that are on the quest for vengeance, they make mistakes. They fuck up. A lot of times they lose something personal to them on their quest, and they realize, shit, maybe it wasn't worth it. But with the female characters, it just doesn't happen that way. Because again, they're focusing on power. Be like the man, be better than the man. And then it leaves nothing. Like, they'll start the story like, oh yeah, her family got killed. Okay, great. Now she's on a quest for vengeance. What is she gonna experience along the way? What is she gonna lose along the way? What is she gonna, like, is there any point where her morality is gonna get challenged? Is her thought process gonna get challenged? We don't know because we haven't seen the story, but chances are, based off what we have seen in the past, we could probably deduce that that's not going to happen. That it's just going to be a straightforward, she's going to fuck everyone up pretty easily. Maybe she'll lose something. Who knows? But I highly doubt it. I think it's going to be pretty straightforward. Yeah.
It's gone. That storytelling, the no character arc is gone. It's going stale.
It's exactly how it was with Naue. Just an FYI. Naue fucked everybody up.
Yep.
I am eager. Just completely cut everybody up. Never lost the fucking thing. Aside from the beginning.
Ironheart starts as an evil bitch, ends as an evil bitch. You know, it's like they don't learn anything.
Nothing. So that's why I have little faith. But again, I was let down by this. I do think the gameplay looks good, but only because it's basically the first game. Yep. Right? There's nothing about this that stands out differently for me to judge, aside from the little tidbits, the fucking hip hop music. And I thought that was out of place, but whatever. Like, at this point, if you want to turn it on in the menu and play lo-fi music, whatever. I guess what's that for? Streamers, so they don't have to go to YouTube and get lo-fi music for the background. I don't know. I have no idea. Just do what you want at that point. If you want to turn that into that, fine. As long as I don't have to deal with it. It's one thing to fucking force it on me, like in Assassin's Creed Shadows, where the music was so out of place.
That's the fucking argument. Sorry, that's why Kate's post, no offense, homie, pissed me off so much. It's like Assassin's Creed was like, oh, black dudes, so let's throw in fucking hip hop music, and so it's the pandering was so retarded. Whereas in this, I'm sorry, there's nothing black about this character, whatnot. It's an Asian dude that made the music. It's an option you can turn on or off. I think it's a completely unfair comparison to people that are.
Yeah, I don't think it's pandering. There is clearly more work invested into trying to achieve like a certain style that does mesh well with the game for what it is.
Can I address the elephant in the room too?
No.
Fuck, come on.
Go ahead.
I don't find this character particularly attractive. And I feel like I want to play as, if we're going to be playing as a woman in a game, I would prefer that to be an attractive woman. I don't find her attractive.
She's in a man's position.
Well, yeah, I'm just being real though. I'm like,
I just don't think I don't think any of it is attractive, just in a general sense of she replaced my man. Fuck that bitch.
That too. And if you're going to be replacing Jin, you might as well be doing it with someone who's attractive. I feel like that is something that it's like shunned when you say that. It's like, oh, you can't say that. Or it's like, why? It's a fucking video game.
I wonder what her age is, because she looks older.
She looks really old.
Yeah, she does look old.
Especially how she's able to fuck up
she looks
all
like
these
woman.
young men. Yeah, I'm thinking like 30s, 40s.
But it's like the elephant in the room, and everyone's like, "Oh, well, I don't like this about the game." She's fucking ugly. What are we doing here?
By the way, your whole like she's ugly thing, that's gonna get clipped so hard and put out there like Smash Bring the Gooter again.
I think like when characters are, the way a character looks is not, and for some people it is straight up. For me, that's not usually the make or break thing of buying a game from. But that being said, if there's other flaws that gets added to it, or there's nothing about, like, for example, there's nothing about this game that has me wowed. So the fact that she's ugly sticks out. Like, not every game needs fucking Eve from Stellar Blade or whatnot. Not every game needs Lara Croft. By the same token, to give me to show me this, which is not wowing me in any regard, and to also have the character be ugly on top of it, it's like, man, dude, what are you guys fucking doing?
Right. Like,
what's crazy is that
who was in charge of approving these decisions across the board?
In this scene, she looks so much younger. in this scene, and then in every other scene she looks
Yep. She's got like way more wrinkles on her face and everything.
much older.
Point,
yeah.
Like honestly,
Maybe
at this point, if you're gonna outright fucking activists be voice actors for your game, you might want to consider changing their faces entirely to not look like these activists because it's such a turn off.
Cassie, hold on. It's not even about activists, and this is something I've been preaching about for fucking months, if not years now. Stop doing real life mocap on these goddamn characters, whether they're attractive or not. I don't want to look at I don't want to look at these video game characters and see a real actor. I want to see something made. Like Stellar Blade did it right. They use a body model. Okay, go for it. Go for the body stuff. The face, totally original. It's its own thing. I'm tired of fucking walking simulator by Hack Kojima. I don't want to see Norman Reedus. I want to see a fucking character that exists in this universe, in this game. I'm tired of seeing these actors.
I agree with that.
The same thing about Leon Kennedy in Resident Evil 2 and 4. I don't want to see the dude who looks exactly like the mocap actor. I want to see him that looks like Leon Kennedy. It pisses me off.
I don't know. I don't
disagree with
necessarily
that.
care. I don't necessarily care too much about attractiveness in this game, just considering getting down and dirty like this. And it's based more on reality than fantastical. But I get it. I mean, at this point, she can definitely look better. There's no doubt about it.
Who's attractive nowadays? I don't know. I'm too old for this shit.
Sydney Sweeney.
I am.
Sydney Sweeney. There we go. I'm not asking for Sydney Sweeney to play the part, but
You sure?
I'm looking for. Well, I mean, I wouldn't say no to it. It might not make sense. Maybe there'll be some mods. I don't know.
Oh, there's definitely going to be mods. It's going to be called Jin Sakai mods. They're going to replace Jin Sakai immediately, and then the game will be a 10 out of 10 perfect game.
Yep. And then Next is going to ban it in 5 minutes. Yeah.
Oh, for sure. What do we think? So really quick, because we gotta get to the next topic, man. We're fucking on this for a while. What do we think is the chances of this game getting Game of the Year? Because to be fair, the reason why they put these, mocap actors and whatnot is so they can claim they were part, it's part of their resume, man. They want to say I was part of the Game of the Year. This bitch is cheering right now because Rook, a character that she partially voiced, won Game of the Year, GAY. Dragon Age of Vilgar. She was one of the voices. So Erika Ishii. Anytime I see these people get artificially pushed, Pedro Pascal's, Bella Ramsey's, fucking Erika Ishii's and everything now too. When you see these people artificially pushed, they're pushed for a reason. Because they say all the right things. They do all the right things. They do whatever they're told. Nice little lapdog. What do we think?
This game does get Game of the Year. That would expose what everyone already knows even more about how Game Awards are such a joke. Expedition 33 will win. And if it doesn't, it's clearly pandering to, these are our buddies in the industry. That's literally what it will come down to.
It's a Sony game.
This dude's got such stiff competition. I don't think this game. It might be nominated. It's not winning. I don't believe for a moment
it'll be nominated for sure.
Yeah, it'll probably be nominated. I don't think it'll win. So
I don't think that Expedition 33 is going to win Game of the Year.
I agree with
it's
simply
because
because
Death Stranding 2 or this game.
That's impossible.
These are Sony games, dude. Sony games.
That's impossible.
Sony games get big push for Game of the Year nomination, especially with Death Stranding 2.
You can't like.
Let me be very clear. Let me be
Jeff
really
Keighley
quick.
is a Kojima.
It's bought and paid for
of
already.
course, he's
his
not.
wife.
It's
Kojima's wife.
Expedition 33 is not going to win. The reason why it's not going to win is because that is a narrative destroyer. It cannot win. It cannot win the prominent prize on a AAA fucking Hollywood scene of the gaming industry. That shit ain't gonna win, bro. It's from a small indie studio that, by the way, some of the developers left an established shill fucking studio known as Ubisoft. There's no way that a team of 33 is going to win Game of the Year on the stage of the AAA gaming industry. That stage up there belongs to the AAA. Why do you think that people were so pissed that Jeff Keighley, not even at the Game Awards stage, but the Games Summerfest stage, was praising indie, bro? You know how much shit he got for that? He got so much shit for praising indie.
But they also wasn't Balatro one of the nominees for Game of the Year last year.
He'll be nominated.
It'll be nominated.
No, but I'm saying like that game should not have won Game of the Year, and it didn't, which is good. But at least it got nominated, which is good to see that they're trying to promote indies. Is my point.
Bro, Death Stranding 2 is going to win Game of the Year.
I don't.
There's
think
a good
so.
chance of that.
I think if that does, that's. I mean, God, what?
Well,
a
it's
shit
either
show.
that or Ghosts of Yotei here.
No,
those are the two bigger ones.
No, because Jeff Keighley's in tight. with all that stuff.
Coach,
So,
I just think that the
With Kojima,
backlash would be
yeah.
too big for even him to handle if Expedition 33 doesn't win, because you won't just get it from us, you get it from the other side as well.
It's
You're
going to
gonna
be
get it
bought
from
and paid for,
everyone.
and you're going to see all the Twitter mobs going like, "Oh my gosh, well, whatever one was, it was the game of the year, you guys."
Right.
They
Right.
are going to astroturf a victory for the AAA industry.
I thought you were going to say Astrobot.
100%.
I mean, look how much Astrobot
What's
fucking
the
swept.
difference?
Yep,
And there were
yep.
some games that Astrobot was going against that it did not deserve to sweep like that, but it
I mean, I
did.
loved Astrobot, but I'm surprised it won as much.
I'm not
as it
saying
did.
it's bad. I'm just saying it didn't deserve to sweep like that. That's
Well,
all.
to that point,
Bro,
This
Sony
year,
has
we are
pull in the
stacked.
space. You have no. Sony has insane pull in when it comes to the award shows. They just do.
Yeah.
And Kaylee is a major Sony fucking knob
Shill.
gargler. Like he will suck that knob clean. He is big on Sony.
Trace's face is hilarious.
Yo,
No,
she's
I.
fucking
Cass is
bugging.
She was graphic. She was very.
Somebody
graphic.
said the Shire wins game of the year.
Is that game even coming out? Got delayed like 5 times.
I thought
But
it got
anyway,
canceled. Is that coming up?
I hope so.
I don't know what's going to win game of the year, but I think I could confidently say that Expedition 33 will not win. If it does win, that would be very shocking to me. That would be very, very shocking to me. I mean, I don't
want
give a
it to
fuck
win.
because
There's no
I
way
don't-
that this game does not win Game of the Year, bro.
I don't look to these awards to as like anything prominent. I don't give a fuck, bro. If a game wins or loses, I don't care. All it does is allow me to speak on how absolutely bullshit the industry is, and people know it, man. They know it. When they see certain things go down like that, they're like, "Yep, saw that coming, mile away."
This one's going to be unavoidable. You can't ignore. The Expedition 33 is the best game I've played in years. Like, it's not like one of those.
This is
Maybe this.
It's also the only game.
I was waiting for that. I was like, who's going to be the one that does it? Who's going to be the one? I put it
Now
on the
that
team
was
for
good.
you.
Now that was good. That was good. Good job, Wizard.
I'm
right,
like,
in here.
to me, Expedition 33 is one of those life-defining games, like
Yes.
where
It's a
you
once
play
in a
it and it's
generation.
like it makes you reevaluate what you think a good game is. And there's only been
true.
a couple of games for that. Halo was a game for that. That was a game for me that did that. Sekiro did that. Monster Hunter World did that. And
Well, think about it like that. Expedition 33 is a game that everyone has to play. Ghost of Yotei, no.
well,
Death
we don't know
Stranding
that yet
2,
until the game
no.
comes out.
Like,
But
what's that?
no, I was gonna say we don't know that yet until the game comes out.
I
For
think
all we
it's
know.
fairly confident though that if you played the first one, you kind of played it.
Okay,
That's
fair
what I'm
enough.
getting at.
It's
Yeah.
kind of, at
I
least
feel
like
like-
Expedition 33 is a brand new experience that
True.
does,
There goes my
it's
camera.
its own thing.
Which is why that's going to last longer in the minds of people. That's also going to last longer in general as just a status for a video game. I think people will remember Expedition 33 way more than Ghosts of Yotei. I also think people are going to remember Ghost of Tsushima way more than Ghost of Yotei. Like Tsushima, when that game came out, that shit was incredible because it was just hitting on every metric, every mark. And now, like, there's nothing wrong with having a similar sequel, but this is not like similar, bro. This is fucking damn near identical. You are re-releasing the same game with Jin's. Yes, actually, you're right. It is like when they released Miles Morales, the Spider-Man game. That shit was basically just the Spider-Man game, same game, just with Miles Morales in it. This is what we're experiencing here. This is what we're experiencing here, but instead of Jin Sakai, you just have Atsu. But it's crazy because it's supposed to be a different location, different island, different time period, hundreds of years apart. Jin Sakai has been long dead, but it's the same thing. Same thing.
Even from the trees, like you remember in Ghost of Tsushima, just riding through the trees, and you got that yellow all over the ground. It's just gorgeous.
Yeah.
They got the same thing in this. It looks exactly the same. And then look, her character. Hey, if you go back, she kind of looks like she got the downs. To be honest, goddamn.
Oh my god,
Damn.
that's crazy.
Crazy,
Like, if you
bro.
go back like 20 seconds, you would see
You
it.
trying to say she Bella Ramsey the samurai? That's fucking insane, bro. What's
I
wrong
don't
with
know,
you? Stop
dude.
it.
I don't know. She had an egg face. Hold on.
Well-
If you go back, you got to go back a little bit. You can see
That's
it.
crazy. Somebody needs to Photoshop Bella Ramsey on this picture right now.
You
What
can
I
see it
Yo,
immediately.
stop it.
Somebody do it,
Immediately.
please.
What I can tell you is they making a movie about Ghost of Tsushima. They probably won't be making a movie about Ghost of Yotei. I can tell you that.
Well,
There
see,
were facts.
from what I was told, there's the reason. That's the reason why the movie's still, on hold. because the games are supposed to be a trilogy, and the movie's supposed to be based on the games. So it's like, oh, are we gonna do the next like installment of Jin's story in the game, and then we can have the movie do that, or are we just gonna have the movies do that story about Jin? Or are we gonna go
but
back
it
to
went from being a trilogy.
I got no worries about that.
It went from being a trilogy to an anthology series.
Yeah, which is
So
weird. Which is very weird.
that's why. And again, you can just see it from a mile away that they clearly planned this to be a sequel. But then they're like, oh, let's just add a couple of odd locations. Let's call it not Tsushima, and throw in a different character and say it takes place 300 years in the future, and maybe we'll throw a gun in there or two.
Sony Japan had no idea this was going to be the game. They had no idea. They thought they were getting a sequel, like everybody else.
Well, that's why all the people who are on Twitter who are defending this game like just vehemently, they didn't even want to have a conversation about the game. They just want to be like, nope, defend.
This
right?
is it. What that one retard say? He said, "Oh, Jin's story is over. I'm so glad that we get to talk about this new character." I'm like, did you not play the fucking game?
You know you fucking lying, bro.
Did you not play the game? They literally said that, oh, there's still more mongrels on the main.
Gata, that's bait. No, that's bait, Gata. Come on.
Then they'll lie to you and be like, no, that was for New Game Plus.
You'd be surprised.
They didn't mean story-wise. They just meant gameplay-wise. My thing is, for the people who defend this game just so vehemently, I have to ask them, and genuinely, and I know they're never going to answer genuinely, but the genuine question is, when you didn't know this game existed, and you knew that they were coming out with another Ghost of Tsushima game, and I were to ask you the question, hey, what is a Ghost of Tsushima sequel look like to you?